Global leaders, scientists, growers, innovators, and business people converged on Tel Aviv's third annual Con10 conference to talk about the present and future of the medical cannabis industry.
Until quite recently, there was very little work on the actual products that the plant makes, the THC acid and the cannabidiolic acid.
Israeli scientist Dr. Raphael Meshulam has been researching cannabis and its medicinal qualities since the 60s.
We showed the structure of cannabidiol way back in 1963, quite a few years ago, and we isolated, I believe for the first time in pure form, THC and elucidated its structure.
However, even though several U.S. states have legalized recreational use, on a federal level, it's against the law to do clinical trials.
The United States, the only legal source of cannabis is the National Institute on Drug Abuse. And they have a mandate from Congress that they can only study substances of abuse as substances of abuse. The issue is, again, evidence. And 21st century physicians are very much evidence-based. And I think for cannabis and integrative medicine, we can be evidence-informed.
Integrative oncologist Dr. Donald Abrams of the University of San Francisco has seen firsthand the positive effects of medical cannabis on relieving symptoms related to cancer treatments, HIV, and other diseases.
Cannabis itself is the only anti-nausea medicine that also increases appetite. And that's something that cancer patients benefit from. We know that cannabis has pain-relieving activity. And I've done studies demonstrating that when you add cannabis to opiates, you get a synergistic effect, such that you can maybe get away with a lower dose of opiates.
Despite the growing cannabis industry in the United States, federal limitations on clinical trials lags behind the innovative approach here in the startup nation, known as a disruptor in the industry, but in a good way.
And I said, why are you using such a negative word? And now I realize that, I'm a little bit old school, and disruptive is something positive. Yep. It means you're affecting change. Yeah. So I think Israel is being disruptive.
The Israeli government supports innovation in the cannabis field, and Israeli companies are making major agricultural and other advancements. DryGare's anti-humidifying device creates consistent environmental conditions to prevent mold and irreversible damage to cannabis crops.
Similar to what happens in the shower when you don't ventilate, you get a lot of water on the walls, and then we get a lot of mold. So if it happens inside the cannabis flower, which is going to use as a medicine, it's caused a lot of problems for the growers and for the users.
Indoors is a high-tech company that creates algorithms to help cannabis farmers grow more efficiently.
We use sensors in the atmosphere and the climate, in the water tank and in the root zone to be able to create a bigger picture for the farm, giving them the insights and alerts to save them time, money, and resources, optimizing their farm.
Overall, industry leaders agree the best way to pave the future is through international collaboration. Emily Francis, I-24 News.